conscious living. I'm Tina Frontera, and welcome. Welcome to you here, and welcome to you who are joining us virtually. Lake Herit Spiritual Community is an independent organization. We gather together to explore the unique connection with the divine and global consciousness. Okay. So this is the movement and meditation service. As you may know, I start out with a few minutes of talking on the topic of the month, and then we move, and then we go back to the topic of the month, and then we move again, back to the topic, and we move again. And the whole idea is, besides hearing the message, you'll feel the message as well. And hopefully then you go home and it's a little bit more integrated into your whole being. The theme of this month is being the change you want to see. So when we take it word by word, being, we're living now. Even the word the is specific. It's not but when you use the word the or the, you have to name it. You have to name it. Change is about transforming, making things different, creation. What you want to see, it's personal. It's personal to you. And what we want to see, we actually have to be able to visualize it and see that it's real. So spiritually, being the change we want to see, it's with our whole being, our mind, our body, our spirit. We're committed specifically to that transformation. And you probably have heard the expression by Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. So there's a gentleman, Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. He was born in Puerto Rico, and simple life. His mom was a teacher, his father was a trucker. He was in the choir until age 13, and then at age 14, he started writing music. And one of the things about his childhood that he did not like, actually he hated, when he was 8 years old, he was forced to wear a bunny suit. Do you know who I'm talking about? No? Anybody? Bad Bunny. Now, if you would have asked me a year ago that I would be using Bad Bunny as a spiritual example, I'd be looking at you as though you were wearing the bunny suit. But, things change, right? This is all about change. And so he's Puerto Rican, and, once he started becoming famous and making money, he traveled. And like many Puerto Ricans, they're struck by the fact that people in the United States sometimes don't know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. It's been a commonwealth since 1917. They've been citizens since then. People have been fighting in the wars since then. They've served in the military. And as he traveled, and as many of us sometimes do travel, we're aware of how sometimes insular we can be in the United States. We go traveling, and somebody will say, "Where are you from?" And we say, "America." And every now and then, somebody will come back at us and say, "Oh, you mean Canadian?" Just to point out to us that America is North America, Central America, South America. America's really, really big. So Bad Bunny, started making it in the world. And, one of the things he wanted to do is bring money to his beautiful island because it was in some shambles, and he brought over $400 million just in his concerts alone there. And so he's starting to live his vision, and then he made it to the Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw him during halftime at the Super Bowl. I'm not a football fan, but for some reason we had it on, and so he comes out, and he had thousands of people. He employed thousands of people. And some just had a role of being a plant. And that was their role. They walked on, and so they had plants all over the place, beautiful, green, lush, like Puerto Rico. And then they had the people dancing, just like they do in Puerto Rico. And everything that he loved about Puerto Rico, they had Little scenes of the old men playing dominoes, and little scenes of people dancing all over, and little scenes of people getting married and loving each other and living in sense of community and playing games and being happy. And he wanted people to see that. And it's a message that he wanted to carry for the world. And before the Super Bowl, he was interviewed, and he spoke in English, and he said, English was not my first language, and neither was it in the Americas, reminding us of the indigenous people of the Americas. And when he came out in Spanish, because most of it was in Spanish, he said some words of affirmation. And he said, believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. You should. You're worth more than you think. Don't change who you are to reach the biggest stage in the world. Don't change the core of who you are. And then there were only two things that were in English. A sign behind him that said, the only thing stronger than hate is love. And then the other English word that he said was, God bless America. And he proceeded to say as he walked out, every country, every territory of the United States in North America, South America, so Ecuador, Chile, Puerto Rico, Canada, the United States, reminding us that we are this big in this huge universe. And so what he was doing is he was really making a commitment. He was really fully trying to be the vision that he wanted to see. And, took it at great risk, some criticism, et cetera, and he employed hundreds of people on that stage to live that with him. So he wasn't doing a, they, but he was taking it upon himself to try to make a difference and take some personal responsibility. So Rumi said yesterday, I thought I was clever. I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise. I want to change myself. Now, he wasn't talking about the core light of himself. He was talking about those things about ourselves that we kind of go, Okay? So our world is a mirror of ourselves, and we've had other themes where we look at ourselves in the mirror in different ways from different perspectives. And the world, that mirror, reflects ourselves to ourselves. And it's hard to be objective and looking at ourselves from all different ways. But it's such a helpful exercise to do. Because if what we want in the world is truth, looking at ourselves, are we being fully honest? If we want peace in the world, are we truly at peace with ourselves? And it takes some work. That's why a lot of us come to Lake Harriet Spiritual Community. We're here sometimes to do that work. So there's another example. And, we know that we've done the work when we get triggered or somebody treats us badly. We can stay in that light and stay in the essence of ourself. That's when we know that we've truly done that work. And sometimes all it takes is somebody just to pull that little trigger and we just go, Brr. Okay, so there were these two women I read about a couple of months ago who were handcuffed. And of course they weren't happy about it. And the agents were with them in the car. And they were in the back seat of the car, and they could see one of the agents having a seizure. And one woman was a teacher, and the other one worked in healthcare. They both had some first aid kinds of training. And they said, guys, he's seizing. It looks like his tongue and saliva are blocking his airway. Could you do something? They didn't know what to do. So the women said, if you take off these handcuffs, we can help him. So they did. And they needed to put him on the ground and flip him over, but there was his gun. And they said, we need to remove his gun. And the agent said, fine. And they proceeded to help him and clear his airway and coddled his head, et cetera, until the event was over. The guy was fine. Everyone was grateful that they could take care of the scene. And in this particular type of arrest, apparently you can't make a phone call. And so they asked for to be able to, and the agents called their superior. The superior said, sure, let them make the phone call. Okay, so here we have a scenario where emotions could have run really, really high. But what happened? Both sides kept their humanity. Okay? The women helped, and the agents helped as well. So it's interesting that compassion can multiply. It can multiply if it starts with us. Others can follow as well. Now, balance is needed, right? I'm not saying that we all kind of run into face of danger. Sometimes when things are a little crazy or there's too much change in our life, sometimes we do have to retreat a little bit. Sometimes we just need to take a breath and just get centered. But it's important that we don't get stuck in that. After that, we do need to move forward and move on out of that. So with that, I invite you to do our first movement. So if you'll all stand up, and we're just going to do 5 minutes of movement, 1 minute of rapid movement, and then we're going to go to something a little more peaceful. Okay, so first, stand, not quite yet. And so we're going to stand, and I'm going to ask you just to kind of shake your hands a little bit. Shake your hands, and just if there's any stuff that's stuck, see what you can do to sort of psychologically unstick it. And then take your hands and just pound on your chest a little bit. Tap on the chest and breathe. Breathe out any anxiety, anything that is bugging you right now. See what you can do. Just try to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Not yet, Gary, not yet. Okay, and we're going to shake those hands, 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 and we're going to come to a stop, and then Gary is going to start the song.
Breathe out. Arms reaching to the sky.
Okay, hands up.
Then circling around, down to the earth. Eyes lifted to the light, to the light. Hands, branches catching rain. Breathe in, breathe out. Then rising like a stalk of grain. Breathe in, breathe out. Arms reaching to the sky. Then circling around, down to the earth. Eyes lifted to the light, to the light. Hands open to the day. Breathe in, as if to pray. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Breathe in love. Breathe out peace. I encourage you to have a seat. Okay, so there's a saying that says, pray as if it were up to God, act as if it were up to you. And if you're going to pray, pray with your feet. With the message being that there's a huge difference between wanting to see things change and taking the steps to do it, to really doing the work of doing it. And we're so fortunate in this Western culture because we've got the free time. We've got affluence. Women are having fewer children. Our basic health needs are generally taken care of. We've got the ability to have self-expression. I watch a lot of TVs that take place in other eras, and I'm struck by how fortunate we are. And sometimes it's so easy to forget it. And so we have this potential to have this conscious evolution where the species can really transform itself. We can take this leap of consciousness and create radical newness. Michelle Obama said, though, remember, don't squander what our elders have given us and have sacrificed to give us. Build upon it. And sometimes I know it feels like sometimes we're taking 2 steps back and 1 step forward. I'd like to suggest maybe it's 1 step back and 2 steps forward. If we just keep building and building. So there's a story of a Steve Nygren, who was born in Colorado. Small community in Colorado. His family was Norwegian. They've been in that small small town for many, many years. And the family was very involved, many generations. They helped build the school. So he grew up with that kind of environment. He became very successful in the restaurant and hospitality business. And then he moved to Georgia. He had kids. And he bought some property with some acreage because he wanted his kids to be close to nature. And he went out one day on a walk, and he noticed a surveyor. And he asked the surveyor, what was the surveyor doing? And he said, well, we're building a huge housing development. We're tearing down acres and acres and acres of trees, and we're going to be building these big houses on big plots of land. You know, the kind of land where you have to drive your car to get to your neighbor. And so this Steve had a totally different vision. So he got some neighbors together and got a wide variety of voices together. And what they had envisioned together was a walkable community with houses in clusters surrounded by nature. And he went to the developers, and the developers weren't convinced at all. So he thought, I do have some land. I'm going to start here on my own acreage. And it just really took off. People started building houses there, and they were starting to build a cluster community. And so the developers thought, okay, I guess this has really taken off. So in 2004, they started building. There was a little lull during the pandemic, and they called it biophilic design living systems. And so now they have a population of over 1,200 people on 6,500 acres, and they have walking paths, organic gardens, organic grocery store, organic restaurant, they have concerts, they have playgrounds, they have community centers. They are living one with nature in community together and enjoying the acreage around them. And so far, they have over 240 kids living there, and not one has an allergy yet, which is really kind of interesting. So what he built was that vision, a place where sustainability works with nature. You know, they ran by solar as well. It connected people with nature, with each other, in a community. That was his vision, and he took the steps to make it. So that kind of big visioning takes focus and planning and a lot of work. So here we are, simple people, right? You know, and many of us, many that I see, not everyone, is close to retirement maybe, or, you know, even if you're not, you can be thinking about it in the future. But and even if we're not in retirement, we still can take some time to think about how we want to make a difference. And so we've got this potential to significantly make changes in our community. Because what do retired people have? It's usually either time or money, or if you're lucky, both. If you have money, you give to a cause. If you've got time, you volunteer, right? And sometimes taking on the undesirable or sometimes the dirtiest jobs can sometimes be the most gratifying. I think some of you have heard that Evan and I sometimes like to get into our kayaks and pick out muddy garbage out of the Twin City lakes. And you never know when you're going to make a connection. And one day, you know, we were just picking up the garbage, and I thought we were just one with the garbage, but there was this girl that said, "Mommy, I want to pick up garbage too." And who knows, maybe someday she will. You never know when you get out there and you do the work, what kind of connection you're making. It may even be non-intentional, but you make a connection. We have another friend who's a lawyer, and he didn't want to do more pro bono work as a lawyer once he retired because that just felt like work. So he taught a citizenship class for people that wanted to become citizens. Another guy liked fishing. Instead of just fishing by himself, he took on troubled youth and taught them how to fish. A father figure to troubled boys. So there's all kinds of things that we can do. The neighborhood association. One woman was used to being in a lot of meetings, you know, but was tired of corporate meetings. So instead she joined her neighborhood association, got on the crime committee, got involved in that and made connections. So purpose and connection, as you know from various studies, have a correlation with longevity as well. When you read about the blue zones, the blue zone books, you know, besides eating healthy and moving healthy, it's that purpose, it's that connection with people. And just connecting with people can create that change that we want to see. I ask you to stand up, and we're going to connect very slowly this time. We're going to do some poses, but I'm going to ask you to stand like a strong tree in the water, your feet slightly bent, your feet slightly apart, your knees slightly bent, hands down, and just be a strong, strong tree with the water flowing around your feet. You're standing strong, you're standing tall. Slowly bring those arms up. We're going to do a Buddha pose. Point your palms up to the sky. And breathe. And imagine just the light energy coming from the sky to the palms of your hands. The wisdom from your elders before you, shining down all they have done for your success on this earth, shining down their love, their wisdom. Connect to them. And then turn to one side and stay connected with all other light, the planets, the stars, the sun, the moon. And slowly twist to the other side. Reflect gratitude to those ancestors, to the sun, the moon, other planets, the universe. Back to center. Palms facing the top of your head. Reflecting that light, all of that light, all of that energy onto you. Feel it from the top of your head, running through your body to your toes, full of light. Take those palms, run them slowly down the front of your body till you hit the chest level. Spread out those arms as wide as you can, sticking your chest and heart out, expanding your heart, your soul to the world. Giving and receiving all the love and the warmth that you can, that you deserve. Keep breathing in and out. Slowly bring those hands to your heart. Take a deep breath. Take one hand. Have your palm face the sky. The other hand down. Your palm face the earth. And have the energy, the spirit, the light of the universe flow through you from the heavens through you to the earth as a conduit, being a conduit of light and love from all that is through you to all that is. Reverse that. Same thing. Light from your top hand through you as a conduit down to the rest of the earth, blessing Mother Earth and thanking Mother Earth for all she does. Harness that energy from both hands back to your heart. Give yourself thanks. Give yourself love. Take a deep breath. And have a seat. Okay, so there's a Chinese proverb that says, one generation plants the trees, the next generation gets the shade. One generation plants the trees, the other generation gets the shade. So there's a futurist. Her name is Barbara Marx Hubbard. And she says, we've always been evolving. But the difference now is that before it used to be about natural selection, survival of the fittest kind of a thing. Now, we're more directly involved because we have human choice. And she says the human species is becoming responsible for life on this earth. And no other species has been asked to do that before. We are responsible for life on this earth. I think most of us remember that picture from the Apollo spaceship 56 years ago. They took that iconic picture way above from the spaceship, and it was a picture of this little marble of blue and white earth. This little marble of blue and white earth, and that created a little bit of a shift in consciousness. Because here we thought we were the center of the world, right? And now we realized that, wow, this earth is fragile. This earth is fragile, and it's not just about us. And we, as humans, are responsible for this beautiful little marble. It's a big responsibility. So in the 1950s, there was a group of nuns, the Sisters of the Holy Wisdom. I love that name. If that's the change I want to be, I'd like to be a Sister of Holy Wisdom. But anyways, they started a Benedictine monastery. And it was Catholic. And in the 60s, the Vatican kind of said, hey, monasteries, we want you to sort of throw open the windows. Throw open the windows and invite others. Don't be so seclusionist. And the sisters did that. They opened up their windows. And maybe they went too far because the bishop didn't approve and they are no longer part of the church. But they threw open their windows and they invited basically all other women of all other denominations to join them on retreats, to join them in various projects, and they really created a whole spiritual sort of center that was so different than what they had. And they did some research, and they realized that part of Wisconsin in general, had over 2 million acres of native prairie land at one point in time. And now, or then, rather, there was only less than 0.5% of that that still existed. So they went on this mission of, we're going to restore prairie land here in Wisconsin. First, we're going to start on our little land where our monastery is, and then we're going to go out. And so they had a mission, not just the sisters, but the other women, and then the bigger community, to plant 10 acres a year, every year, since the 1960s of prairie land and other things. They restored some mucky lakes so that they could be there for the wildlife once again. And they also created then this spiritual center, this place, this retreat where people wanted to come. And people described it as being very healing to them. So it turned out now that the healed land was now becoming the healer. So it's still going on, and there are only 4 of the original sisters left. And they had a board that has ensured and put things in place so that when those sisters are no longer there, that the lay people, the community, the other people can keep on that tradition, keep that land, keep planting, keep building, keeping the mission there. So I guess in some ways, maybe somebody said there is no death, only a change of worlds. So they have made sure that their vision and their legacy is living on. So the Navajo have a term called hozo, and it's walking in beauty. Walking in beauty in harmony with the earth, with animals, with all living creatures in a way that restores harmony and honors relationships. So I encourage us as we are on this earth, as we are still on this earth, to be that light of harmony. Okay, let's do our last movement. And we're going to start out the same. We're going to start out feet slightly apart, knees slightly bent. And hands down and taking a deep breath and being strong, strong, strong trees in the river. And we're going to start out with paintbrush hands. You're going to have your hands in front of you, your palms facing you. And you're going to slowly raise those hands. And then once your hands get to the top, you're going to flip the palms and face them out as you are moving down. And we're going to do many of these. What we're doing is opening up energy channels. Think of all the things that flow in your body. Your circulatory system, your lymphatic system, things flowing from your lungs through your body, the bone marrow that's in your bones, just imagine everything flowing freely. This is our body's energy. Remember from high school, electrons, neutrons, positive, negative energy. Qigong is about balancing that energy, physical, emotional, spiritual. Don't forget to breathe in and out deeply. ask you to put one foot in front of the other. And you're going to take your two palms, push out, and back. Kind of a Tai Chi move. Clearing out all that energy around you, clearing the way for change, clearing the way for growth, clearing the way for transformation, joy, healing, love. And so we're not lopsided, we're going to switch feet and continue. Come back to center, arms out. We're going to take one arm to one side and take the other arm towards that. Bend at the knees, and we're going to pull back with one arm, creating bow and arrow movement. And at the tip of those fingers, envision what change it is specifically you want for yourself. To the other side, the other hand and arm out. Same movement. Pull back. And think specifically, pointedly, the change, the transformation you want to see in your community. Friends, family, neighborhood. What are you committed to? And back again. And think specifically the change you want to see in the universe. Breathe it. Visualize it. And now let's do that movement a couple more times, but faster. Putting energy into what you have just visualized. And slower. Back to center. Arms out in front of you. And the same movement as we did before with our heart out, but we're going to flow with that. Putting your heart out there, your soul, your spirit. Committing to your vision. compassion, kindness, bravery. Remembering to breathe. And back to center. Now, hands in a circle. Circle of love. Circle of all that positive energy of light that you have just created. That's still within you, but you've got some extra energy here now in this ball to give away, to contribute to the light of the universe. Hold on to that ball and give it up to the universe. Feeling joy, peace. Hands back down to your chest. In love and with love for all there is. All the light there is. And I encourage you to have a seat. We're going to do a short guided meditation. And after that, I'm going to ring these bells, and there's a YouTube on there. I encourage you to open your eyes because the words on the screen are the important part. So, feet firmly on the ground. However it is you like to meditate, I like to have my hands on the top of my thighs and my palms up, but whatever works for you. Some people touch their thumb to one of their fingers. Some put their tongue on the top of the roof of their mouth. Whatever works for you. Taking a deep breath. And having that air, think of that air just flowing through your lungs and all through your body. Breathing in health. Breathing in health. And butterflies have a lot of experience with transformation. From that little cocoon to a beautiful, beautiful being. Imagine there's one at the tip of your finger. Breathe some love into that butterfly and let that butterfly fly out into the universe. Touching all there is that's full of light, touching base with all who love you, your ancestors. And have that butterfly come back and land back at your fingertips. And just sit there. Feeling loved and in harmony.
good am I if I'm like all the rest? If I just turn away when I see how you're dressed? If I shut myself off so I can't hear you cry? What if I shut myself off so I can't hear you cry? What good am I if I know and don't do? If I see and don't say, if I look right through, if I know and don't do, if I turn a deaf ear to the thunder and sky, what if I turn a deaf ear to the thunder and sky? What good am I while you softly weep? And I hear in my head what you say in your sleep. Softly weep. And I freeze in the moment like the rest who don't try. What good like the rest who don't try? What good am I then to others and me if I've had every chance and yet still fail to see? If my hands are tied, must I not wonder within who tied them and why? And yet still, where must I have been? If my hands are tied, must I not wonder within who tied them and why? Good am I if I say foolish things? And I laugh in the face of what sorrow brings. And I just turn my back while you silently die. What and I just turn my back while you silently die. What good am I?
Okay, let's gather for our closing circle. Okay, so here we are. One beautiful circle of light. So, Mother, Father, God, Spirit, angels, ancestors, all who love us, thank you. Thank you. We are grateful for all that we have and all of the ability that we have. all the light in this circle. And as we walk out of here today, let us remember to walk in beauty, in harmony with each other and everyone that we meet. Aho. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So I've got the basket out for this beautiful building, and we also take Venmo. So there's a little thing that you could do Venmo if you want to do. Oh yeah, okay, yes. Contribute online. Yeah, if you contribute online, then there too. Okay, okay.